Hello, it's your wealth coach here this morning. And it's time after we've seen the 9 months results of most of Nigerian banks. It's time to really know exactly how your bank is doing, whether as a customer or as an investor, right? So this video is meant to show you how profitable your bank is and how well they are performing regarding the latest reports that has been released to the markets. Performance of banks listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in the third quarter of 2024 was quite impressive, as all the banks so far captured have reported growth in their top line and bottom line figures for the 9 months ended September 2024, right? So, but let me also inform you that amongst all that we have received, please note that FCMB is yet to file its third quarter result as at today, the 20th of November, that I'm making this video. So I shall, however, proceed with the rankings of the available financial institutions that have filed their quarter three reports on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, the ranking of the performance of banking sectors for quarter three 2024 is done using the following matrices: turnover, profit after tax, that's PAT, turnover growth, then profit after tax growth as well, then earnings per share EPS, price to earnings ratio PE ratio, and then earnings yield and profit margins, right? So let's kick off with the first matrix: turnover or gross earnings. That's what you see on the financial reports. Access Bank Holdings reported gross earnings of 3.4 trillion naira for the 9 months period ended September 30th, 2024, emerging as the financial institution with highest turnover for the period under review. Okay? Followed by EcoBank Transnational Incorporated, ranking number 2 in terms of turnover with gross earnings of 2.939 trillion naira reported for the 9 months period, right? Then Zenith, First Bank, UBA, and GTCO emerged third, fourth, fifth, and sixth respectively with gross earnings of 2.9 trillion, 2.478 trillion, 2.398 trillion, and 1.798 trillion naira respectively. Banks that recorded turnover below the 1 trillion mark includes Fidelity Bank, 772.465 billion naira, Stanbic Bank, 650.7 billion, Wema Bank, 289 billion, Sterling Bank, 237 billion naira respectively. Now on to profit after tax. GTCO emerged top in profit after tax for the period under review. The bank reported 1.085 trillion naira as profit for the 9 months period. Second in that rank is Zenith Bank with profit after tax of 827.277 billion naira. Third in the rank is First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, which recorded 533.877 billion as profit after tax for the 9 months period. Now, for those ranking fourth, fifth, and sixth are UBA, EcoBank, and Access Holdings PLC with profit after tax of 525.3 billion, 400 and something billion, and the other 400 and something as well. Performance in turnover growth. Okay, now EcoBank emerged first in terms of turnover growth in the third quarter of 2024 ended September 30th, as it reported gross earnings of 2.939 trillion naira, up by 145.9% from the 1.195 trillion reported the previous year. Second in this rank in terms of growth in turnover is First Bank of Nigeria Holdings. The bank achieved gross earnings of 2.478 trillion naira for the 9 months period, and then this growth is about 133.95% higher than the 1.059 trillion achieved the previous year. Zenith Bank emerged third in terms of turnover growth with gross earnings of 2.9 trillion naira for the 9 months period, up by 118.17% from the 1.329 trillion naira reported the previous year, right? Now, Access Holdings ranked number 4 for turnover growth. with 3.415 trillion naira recorded for the 9 months period, up by 114.31% from the 1.593 trillion naira reported the previous year. GT.co, otherwise known as GT Bank, emerged fifth in terms of turnover growth with gross earnings of 1.798 trillion naira, up by 111% from 850 billion reported the previous year. The next matrix is performance in profit after tax growth. Now, GT.co grew its profit after tax year on year by 195% to 1.085 trillion naira from 367.4 billion naira reported the previous year, emerging as first in terms of profit after tax growth. Wema Bank ranked second in terms of growth in profit after tax with a reported profit after tax of 52.73 billion naira, up by 174% from the 19.2 billion naira reported the previous year. EcoBank grew its profit after tax by 168.9% year on year to 491 billion naira from 182 billion reported in Q3 of 2023. Fidelity Bank grew its profit after tax by 144.79 billion to 224 billion from 91.75 billion achieved the previous year. Fifth on the rank is First Bank of Nigeria Holdings with a profit after tax growth of 125.8% year on year. The Big Elephant recorded profit after tax of 533.8 billion in third quarter 2024 from the 236 billion reported the previous year.